when did you start playing football, and what made you get into it?
Dude, the number of years, um, like I started. I've already accumulated 18 years of footballing experience.
Wow.
Yeah, I just turned legal in terms of my football. So yeah, I started at the age of 4, and
Okay.
it was with Juventud. That's my first club in Ridgefield. You know Ridgefield? It's a kindergarten, but Southridge, and then like they're connected
Like
with a
they're
kindergarten.
okay.
Yeah.
That makes
So
sense. Yeah.
I was playing. There was an orientation in my kindergarten about football, and I got the brochure and gave it to my mom, and I told her I want to try this sport. And mom was the one who um,
Okay.
put me in the club. It was Juventud, and then when I started playing, I was in kindergarten, and then they moved me up to play with the grade 1 and grade 2 students. So um, I was like the only kindergarten playing with grade schoolers, and then we were just training together, and we had tournaments together. My first one, I think, was in Alaska Cup in Alabang Country Club. So that was
Mm.
my first experience. And after that, I started transferring to other clubs like Football Fanatics. I started um, meeting other people, a lot of coaches who saw potential and wanted me to join. And then Football Fanatics was actually where I kind of grew as an athlete. They were the ones who took me in for the most part of my developmental stage, and um, there was even a point wherein we couldn't afford to pay for the training sessions anymore, because
Mhm.
especially before, it was really pay to train, so there would
Yeah.
always be fees. Um, and then that's when Football Fanatics kind of began their scholarship program. So I was kind of like the pioneer scholarship program, part of the pioneer
Okay.
scholarship programs, athletes that they had there. And so I didn't stop. They allowed me to continue training with them, and allowed me to continue playing with the team. And then that's when I branched out to other clubs. And then um, when I was in grade school, sorry, when I was around grade 2, we moved to Laguna, and I started playing I started playing varsity football in Don Bosco. At that time, I was grade 3, and they kind of had a rule before in Don Bosco wherein you can only be varsity to represent the school in competitions if you're grade 4, 5, and 6. If you're younger than that, they wouldn't allow you to compete. But I
Okay.
was in grade 3, and I was already playing, and then they allowed me. I was the first grade 3 student that was allowed to play for the grade school team of Don Bosco, and so we competed in tournaments. And then that's when when they found that I was actually able to compete also with these older grade school students. That's when they kind of opened up the the opportunity for all the other younger grade
Yeah.
schoolers to start training also. So that's where they kind of developed the program as well. And
That's cool.
then
Yeah.
yeah, and then connections with my dad, that's when they kind of got me to go to Ateneo. And
Yeah.
then I was actually a batch ahead of you. I was
Yeah.
batchmates with
Yeah.
Driggs Saldivar, so they were my first classmates. And I really how do you say this, I failed my first semester, my first year in Ateneo. The transition was very hard for me. And then
Yeah.
so that was the 2 years that I had to stop playing football, and when I focused on basketball, playing during lunchtime with you guys, or playing the sports fest and all that stuff. So um, that was my 2 years that I actually had to stop for a while. But Coach Ompong was the one who allowed me to train with the
Coach
team every Thursday.
Ompong.
Yeah, because every Thursday, the aspirants team. So it's like a 2 tiers lower in the hierarchy of football teams in Ateneo High School. For those who don't know, so it's UAAP, aspirants A, aspirants B.
Okay.
Um, I was training with the aspirants B in my first year and first year. When I was under probation, he allowed me to train every Thursday, because every Thursday was just an 11-a-side simulation game. So that's when I had my football training. And every other time that I was free, every other day of the week, I'd either be playing basketball in the courts during lunchtime, sports fest, intrams, or we'd be playing in LGB together sa courts after school, di ba? So
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of like the biggest pause that I had for football. And then after that, once I got my rhythm, once I was able to adjust to the Ateneo academic system and all that stuff, second year till now, till last year, that last season 81, I've been playing for the Ateneo.
Okay. No. So you're talking about like how you got into basketball, and like I don't know if you would agree. I mean, but I think you would. I've seen your past interviews and other podcasts, and like I think we can agree that basketball is the biggest sport in the country.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro.
Definitely. I mean, like I think you talked about how those get barangay leagues, but football doesn't.
Yeah.
Actually, if you on every corner you can see a basketball court here.
Definitely.
So I guess I wanted to ask, with it growing up, I grew up with basketball. It's like I got it's something that I definitely tried out. What made football, I guess, beat out basketball, or what made you choose football over basketball, considering it was the sport, I guess?
Yeah, I think if there's anything, there was some there. I initially started with a big opportunity to play basketball, especially because dad was already a basketball player and all that stuff. And what I've explained to a lot of my interviews is that football was never really a distant option for me also, because I had my grandparents from both my father and mother's side who played football. I still have two uncles who represented the country in the futsal national team and the football national team also. So that really wasn't a distant opportunity, or that wasn't really a distant option for me. And as a kid, you'd always just want to go go with the flow, wherever your friends are and all that stuff. And I had a lot of opportunities. I even went with my dad to some of his clinics to like help teach the kids also in basketball. And I joined a lot of basketball leagues when I was a kid. Even till grade school, I was joining basketball leagues too. But it was just never really something that I naturally enjoyed. I did enjoy the game, but it wasn't it wasn't the natural adrenaline that I wanted to look for, that I look forward to also. Football is such a different sport in such a way that there's a lot of mental. There's a lot of things that are happening in the game. You can't really say. Well, I mean, there are a lot of athletes who even say like the physical aspect of football is just like a small percentage of the game. There's so much more to it than just the whole physical aspect of football. I don't know. It's just really something that I had the natural passion for. I never really had to develop anything. I never really had to force myself to love anything. And I think what differentiates or what puts football aside is that even through the hardships, that it's still something I love. Like especially now that I don't even get to experience it. I miss it so much compared to like even the years that I were in like in basketball. There are a lot of times wherein after playing a few days consecutively, I stop, and it's not something I look for. Compared to football, like I can even have like just the road outside of the house, and when I play, I get so excited. I'm actually already thinking about what to do later, because I was supposed to work out at around 4, and I actually forgot that it's a Friday today. So I was like, oh my god, it's a Friday pala today. But yeah, so I always look forward to having the ball in my feet, and that's just really something that I always found in myself. I never really had to develop anything. I never really had to force myself to love it.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting, and I'm not sure if it's like rare, but how you mentioned earlier, because a lot of the sports stories that people start out with their sport is like their parents bring them to a clinic and then they learn to love it, or like they.
Yeah.
But you were saying that you were the one who asked for it.
I did. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. My kindergarten experience. I actually remember the time of day and where exactly that my mom was situated in her house. I remember we were being instructed. They were teaching us about the cones, the different kinds of cones in football, and that's the biggest memory that I have of that orientation. But the next memory that I have when I was 4 was holding the pamphlet, holding the brochure, and I went up to my mom in the second floor where she was teaching. She tutors. She used to tutor kids. And I told her to come out of the room, and I was like, "Mom, I wanna enroll in this." And that's when she put me in, and it was just such a nice experience.